Hello YouTube, welcome to my channel Red Lips Talking or Con la Bemba Colorada en español. My name is Gabby. I'm here today with my friend Elisa.
Hello.
We're gonna be talking about justice today. So what happened and why are we addressing this again? After what happened with Cannon, a lot of people got mad because it didn't get a lot of media attention as George Floyd or as Breonna Taylor cases, right? And I get it, they're mad. He was a kid, he was killed in front of his house, he was doing nothing, and it's unfair. Yes, it is unfair. No one is saying it's not fair. But guys, for what I know, his family got justice, he got justice, and his killer, he is custody.
Yeah, I think that's
He's in custody. So yeah, it is sad, but justice was done. Justice was given to his family. And why are these people upset? Why are we still talking about Breonna Taylor? Why are we still talking about George Floyd?
Ahmaud Arbery's another one, Elijah McClain, just to name a few.
Yeah, we just need to get together. We just need to be on the same page on this one. Justice should be delivered to everyone. Everyone. It doesn't matter where you come from. It doesn't matter what you're doing. It doesn't matter your background. It doesn't matter your skin color. It doesn't matter the way that you speak. It doesn't matter. Justice should be delivered to everyone. And I'm getting mad every day because people still don't understand that. They just think that we are just mad and we just want to just keep talking about the past. That's not it.
Right.
We just want justice. We just want what Cannon family got, justice. I'm here with her today because she knows how to address this topic better than me, and she has this special way to talk that makes me calm. It makes me like happier. It makes me understand more. And I'm thinking, well, if she can do this for me, maybe she can do this with you guys. So you can just shut the fuck up and listen. I'm gonna talk a little bit very quick about what is Black Lives Matter.
Right. So Black Lives Matter is a movement that was started in 2013 after the fatal killing of Trayvon Martin. George Zimmerman was a man who was in a neighborhood watch who kind of targeted, shot, killed Trayvon Martin unjustly. He was just walking home from the liquor store after buying Skittles. He was on the phone with his girlfriend. And he was profiled because he's African American. He was wearing all black. He had his hood up, but there is no probable cause for him to be targeted and murdered. Zimmerman had made a couple of calls to the police officers, and they had instructed him multiple times not to do anything, not to approach him, and he approached him anyway, and it caused an altercation that resulted in an unnecessary death. Which is the case for so many people and things that we're seeing come up more and more, and that's why Black Lives Matter is so important, because it brings these situations to light when maybe we wouldn't have ever heard of it, we would have never gotten justice. So it's an important organization that also works with communities to help enrich the lives of not only Black people, but people of color as a whole.
If you want to know more about what Black Lives Matter does, you can go to www.blacklivesmatter.com and you can get the information that you need to, okay?
And I suggest to going to the actual website, looking at what their mission statement is, what they actually support, where they donate their money, because just like with any kind of public organization, any public nonprofit, there are going to be people who are going to use that for their own advantage or take advantage, spin it for their own profit. There are multiple organizations in the country that call themselves Black Lives Matter, that use the name of Black Lives Matter, but they're not the actual organization that was founded in 2013 because of the killing of Trayvon Martin. So in all nonprofits, in all organizations, in government, everywhere, there are going to be people who are going to use it for their own good or use it for their own agenda. It's important to sort that out from what the real facts are and what the actual community is fighting for.
See what I'm talking about? So, what can you tell them about people talking about Black Lives Matter as an agenda?
I think at the root of it, people are uncomfortable with the term Black Lives Matter. Historically speaking, in America, we've always praised the lighter skin tone. We've always praised Caucasian people, white people from the very beginning. It's been something that's implemented in us. If you keep in mind that integration was only something that was implemented, 2 generations ago, people are uncomfortable with the term Black Lives Matter because statistically, historically speaking, Black lives have never actually mattered in America. So for there to be an uprising of people saying that these people matter, it's uncomfortable. It's uncomfortable for people, and unfortunately, like I was saying before, there are people who are going to use any kind of movement for their own agenda, for their own political agenda, or what have you. There are racist people in America. Racism is still alive, and they have a problem with Black Lives Matter. You know what I mean?
They believe that because Black Lives Matter, then their life does not matter,
Right.
which is not what this is about.
Right.
It's about all life matter, but till society does not change, till justice is not delivered to every single one equally. Very good. Well, you know, guys, Black life matters. So that's what it is.
I've heard it said that all lives cannot matter until Black Lives Matter. And if you look at our justice system and the ratio of how people of color and Black people as a whole get justice versus other races, it's not equal. It's not the same. And so because people of color and Black lives are being unfairly targeted and oppressed, those lives don't matter. And nobody is asking for Black lives are better, or Black lives are superior, or Black lives matter more than any other life. They just want the bar to be set equally, because right now it's not. And so that's all that people are asking for is equality.
We're gonna talk about what happened with George Floyd. Everyone know what happened with George Floyd, and we were discussing before that his killers, they still are not.
They were charged, but they have yet to be convicted.
Exactly. Like, we already know who his killers are, but still
They're in custody.
they're in custody, right?
Mhm.
But they're in custody, and that's it.
That's it.
That's it.
So far.
That's it. So with Breonna Taylor, we already know who killed her, and then what happened? Like, he just got fired, and that's it.
Right.
That's it. And don't get me started with, oh, but the boyfriend just showed up. No. If I'm in my house late at night and I'm sleeping and I have a gun and someone opened the door like this, boom, 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 I'm gonna start shooting. And that's what he did. He started shooting. They didn't identify themselves as police officers. So what do you expect him to do?
Right.
Of course, he's gonna like take care of the situation and try to protect him, try to protect his girlfriend. And now he doesn't have a girlfriend anymore. Her mom doesn't have a daughter anymore, and she as a person is missing from family, from his community too. And 150 days and still nothing's been done. That's not justice for me.
I think it's important to add too that not only was she innocent, not only was she an off-duty EMT, she was the wrong person. It was the wrong person. And whether or not they were shooting in self-defense, the whole point is that officers' first instinct should not be to shoot. even if they had a no-knock warrant, they should have identified themselves as police officers, and they failed to do that. The boyfriend, the fiance, was just acting in self-defense, protecting his home. There were so many mistakes that were made, and the most justice that was given was that officer was fired.
Yeah.
And that's it. And correct me if I'm wrong, but I'm pretty sure that they took the boyfriend into custody, and it just doesn't make any sense.
How do we expect something to change if nothing changed when the police is wrong?
That's why people are asking for police reform. People are afraid of the term defund the police because in their minds they're like, well, what are we going to do if we don't have police to come and save us when things go wrong? But really what people are asking for when you actually look into the movement and what the terms of it are, they're asking for not a complete defunding of the police, but a reallocation of those funds to go into different social services that could potentially prevent these things from happening again. Another thing too is how can we expect untrained civilians to act in a manner that is better than what we call trained police officers, because we spread these officers way too thin. They're in charge of way too many things. They wear too many hats. They don't get enough hours of training. They don't have any kind of a degree to deal with people at a psychological level. And how can we expect untrained civilians to act in a
Better than the police.
better than the police with a gun in their face? We can't.
Let's talk about Elijah.
So Elijah McClain was a massage therapist in Colorado. He was a really spunky, eccentric kid. He used to, on his lunch breaks, play his violin for pets at, I think it was either PetSmart or Petco, that were waiting to be adopted. I think it was cats specifically. He would play music for them because they were alone and he was just that kind of a person. Like I said, he was spunky, eccentric. He was walking down the street one day and he was wearing a ski mask and he was listening to music and dancing, and somebody called the police on him saying that he looked sketchy. So the police came up on Elijah. Again, he was wearing headphones, didn't know why he was being approached by officers. If you look at the footage, he's being very polite, not resisting or anything, but one thing led to another.
Well, it shouldn't have.
When it shouldn't have.
Shouldn't have.
And the officers ended up using an outlawed, illegal chokehold on him that caused him to lose consciousness. When he came back, he was vomiting, throwing up, telling the officers that he couldn't breathe. And from what I read in an article from the New York Times is that they used that chokehold on him multiple times, so he lost consciousness more than once. That led the officers to call paramedics for medical assistance. And when the paramedics arrived, they injected him with a sedative called ketamine. The dosage was too much for his size, for his body weight. And again, that caused him to lose consciousness. His body went limp immediately. And at the end of it, he was taken to the hospital and he died from cardiac arrest.
So again, if I can breathe means something, it means I cannot breathe. Again, police, just listen. You don't need to be that afraid. Because for me, what it means is that they're just afraid. They don't know how to deal with a kid. So what they do is almost kill him.
Yeah.
I mean, they kill him eventually. No?
Elijah McClain? Yeah, he died.
So
Yeah.
they kill him.
To branch off of what she was saying about how police officers clearly are either undertrained or have this underlying fear when it comes to altercations with the community, specifically people of color or black people. They also have what's called impunity, where in most cases they're exempt from being charged with crimes in what they do. Ahmaud Arbery was another black male who was running in his neighborhood, jogging, and there was a group of men, I believe it was 3 or 4, that lynched him. Essentially, they got in a truck, they followed him, they were accusing him of being somebody that they supposedly had seen before burglarizing homes, which come to find out is not true. And what they did was there was one person recording the whole thing, one person driving. They followed him, got out of their car. There was an altercation. They chased him, and eventually they shot and killed him. Those individuals, to my knowledge, were charged but have yet to be convicted.
The sad part here is that neighborhood was his neighborhood. And he was just jogging, just like I do, just like a lot of people do in their neighborhoods. And just because he was black and someone else, apparently black too, was robbing houses in that neighborhood, he got killed. And it's not that we like to talk about that, but no justice has been delivered to any of those cases. And I don't like to compare, but Cannons did. And I don't want anyone getting mad because I'm talking about this again, but we're just asking for justice. And that's why we're being so loud. Justice needs to be served, needs to be delivered.
And I think a major point too is that a major difference where Cannon, his case was obviously devastating. It's obviously heartbreaking for the family. It's tragic. It was unnecessary. It didn't need to happen. It doesn't need to happen to anybody, but especially a kid.
Exactly.
Nobody is arguing against that. The difference is that with Cannon, immediately right off the bat, there was a statewide search for his killer.
Yeah.
His killer was detained, within 24 hours? And where you look at cases with Ahmaud Arbery, Elijah McClain, Breonna Taylor, George Floyd, those cases specifically happened months ago. Elijah McClain, I'm pretty sure, happened a year ago. These cases are old. The fact that they were resurfaced and people are very angry about it and posting about it constantly, that's the reason why these cases were actually reopened, because in some cases there was never a case to begin with, or it was an open and shut case and nobody was reprimanded for what happened. So the difference is that with Cannon, you didn't need any kind of media attention. You didn't need any kind of social media outrage because there was justice that was served immediately. When you look at cases with people of color, you needed an actual nationwide, worldwide, international outrage in order to get anything done. And that's not to say that there aren't cases with white people who have been unfairly brutalized or targeted by police officers that didn't see justice happen or saw an open and shut case. That has happened.
But the volume
is completely different.
Yeah.
Because if you look at the percentage that African Americans holds in this country, it's 13%. We're 13% of the population, but we're 33% of ethnicity that are killed by the police officers or incarcerated by police officers. The volume is different. The numbers are different. Well, a lot of people that are talking about Black Lives Matter and how they have a hidden agenda, or they're exclusively, I've heard people say that Black Lives Matter is the modern day KKK, which is ridiculous. It's ridiculous. And the people who are saying that are people who clearly have never been to a Black Lives Matter protest, who have never actually looked at the Black Lives Matter website, who aren't really paying attention to what the real message is. And as people who have been to Black Lives Matter protests, more than one, it's all about inclusivity. It's all about everybody being welcome. There's extreme diversity. It doesn't matter what religion you are, what ethnicity you are, what gender you are. If you're a part of the LGBTQ+, I think it's I+, community, it doesn't matter. Everybody is welcome, and they want more people. They want everybody to be included because it's about everybody coming together as a unit to fight for justice to be served. Whereas if you look at the Ku Klux Klan, the KKK, you had to be white to be in that group. You have to be white because the KKK still exists.
Yeah.
And they are all about white superiority, whereas Black Lives Matter, like I was saying before, is not about black superiority.
And let me tell you something. Let's talk about white superiority. You guys are not true Americans. You're coming from Europe. You're coming from Eastern Europe. You guys are coming from any other place but true Americans. True Americans are the Native Americans.
Native Americans.
True Americans are the Native Americans one. You guys came and stole their land, and then you brought the black people to build it for free. So no white supremacy, whatever. You guys are just like lazy people, lazy white people. That's all. I had to say it. I'm so sorry. I'm not sorry, by the way.
But that just goes to show, because all of that is true, like factually, we are all immigrants from countries from all over the world. The real Americans are Native Americans,
Yes.
and we are living on stolen land. That's not something that can be argued. That is a fact. And it just goes to show that from the very beginning of what we now know as America, white superiority is a complex that has been ingrained in our brains from the get-go. From the beginning, white people viewed themselves, or the Europeans that came, they viewed themselves as superior to the Native Americans that were here, and we are building on that foundation more and more and more and more. And then people are surprised when we identify it and we call it out for what it is.
Yes.
Because there's been so many years of it being comfortable, and now
Now-
we're making it uncomfortable.
For them, but we're making it fair for everyone.
Exactly. Just to end, I wanted to share a quote from Martin Luther King. It's a very popular quote that has been kind of resurfacing during this time, in the theme of what we're talking about. The quote is, "Injustice anywhere is a threat to justice everywhere." And that's all that we're talking about, is we're all Americans. We are all a part of this community, and all that people are asking for is equality and justice for everybody, an equal, a level playing field. Nobody's asking for better than, more than. All people are asking for is equal to.
And I think it's fair to say that we should be able to deliver that. So that's what this video is all about. Just save the negative comments, save it. If you don't like it, I don't care. I just needed to put it out there. I just needed to share, and that's it, guys. Just be kind.
That's the most important thing. Be kind.
Be kind, respect each other, spread love, sing if you want to, dance if you're feeling to. I don't care. Just keep it quiet, keep it peacefully, keep it simple. Okay, guys? So hope you guys like this video. Her name is Alisa. I'm gonna put her Instagram here, I believe. Someplace. I'm gonna put her Instagram here. If you like her, if you like how she talks, if you like her, you can go to her Instagram account and just check how her mind works. Okay, very nice person. That's gonna be it. Hope you like it. Share it if you feel like it. Thumbs up. Yes. Why not? Subscribe. May the force be with us, and God bless you all. Bye.